Do you like conspiracies?
Only for their entertainment value?
Well, you've come to the right place.
Here we talk about the four-letter word, conspiracy.
And we also make jokes about them.
Welcome to What the Conspiracy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to WT Conspiracy, or AKA What the Conspiracy. We are here today with your co-hosts, Peaswad and
Sleepy Weasel. Or Sleepy, whatever y'all want to call me. Whatever y'all want to call me. Either one's fine.
Sleepy Weasel's just, it's too long.
Too long, you
like
think?
it's too long.
Some would say.
It's cool.
Some would say.
Wait, were you being perverted just now? Ew.
No, gosh.
We thank you for joining us already. Being real weird, because this episode is gonna get real weird, I think. Thank you for joining us. Just so everybody knows, we are available at linktree.com/WTConspiracy, where you can find all of our links to all of the things that we do. We are also at WT Conspiracy on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Our email address is WTconspiracy@gmail.com. And we also are on YouTube. If you just search for WT Conspiracy, I still haven't figured out how to do the URL thing because I am the worst. So
just
there's
terrible.
that.
Just terrible.
I don't know what I'm doing. But our social media has been doing very good recently. Have you been seeing all the stuff?
Yeah, I've been looking at some of the YouTube numbers, and then the podcast clicks and listens, and the TikTok stuff.
And
it's actually doing a lot better. It's out there, and it's
yeah.
I won't say it's got a ton of traction yet, but it's got some, and it's so everybody who's watched it, listened to it, checked out any part of our social media as far as the TikTok, Instagram, anything, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. It means a lot. When you start something like this, you don't know how it's going to be received, or how much people are actually going to be interested in or looking at it. And from the way things are going, there's a few of you, there's tens of you that seem to be interested, so that's better than ones of you. So that's we'll take that to start with over the first week. So yeah,
exactly. And if you are listening to us on a different place, I don't know, what's the word, podcasting platform of your choice, let me just run through real quick our distribution of what we're going on. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audacity, Deezer, iHeart, JO7, I don't know what that is, but we're there. Listen Notes, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Podcast Chaser, and Radio Republic. Can you believe that they allowed our podcast to be on all of those different platforms?
Isn't that, it's crazy. That's a lot of different spots, a lot more
it's
spots
cool.
than I thought it would be on.
Who would have thought, But before we get into our little catch-up thing that we do, I did want to say a big thank you to the guys over at the Super Show. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, please do so. The Super Show, they talk about video games, but then they also BS, and they do a lot of fun stuff. Chris and Jamie separately both have done a very, very large amount of help to making us hit the points that we're at now.
Yes.
To make us sounding as good as we do, as looking as good as we do, and to getting our editing and stuff like that done. Because we've run into a couple of hurdles here and there, and they've helped us out. So please, if you do listen to us, go check out Super Show, because they're very funny, and they talk about video games. So thanks again to Chris and Jamie. Nothing against you, Jonesy. Jonesy's also on there, too. I just
Jonesy
didn't talk to Jonesy. Yeah, that Jonesy. He's
that
so
dang
worse,
Jonesy.
Right?
Gosh.
Oh, goodness. So, catch up. What is up with you there, Sleepy Bo Peepy? And video games, TV shows, movies, any of that stuff?
No, nothing really. I really, to be honest with you, I didn't really do much last week. My wife and kids went out of town for a couple of days to go see a friend of hers that kind of moved far away. Far away is relative. It's like an hour and a half. But to me, that you might as well be on Mars, because that's a long ways for me to drive to go do anything. So they went and did that. So Saturday I played quite a bit of stuff. Sunday,
What did you play?
I played Deep Rock with you. And then
oh my goodness.
Yeah, crazy, right? And then I played Battlefield 5, which is always, always a good time to be playing Battlefield
It's a
5.
go-to.
I did start playing this game I downloaded off of Game Pass called The Long Dark. Have you ever played it?
I have not. I actually, let me rephrase that. I played it. I played probably 3 minutes of it before.
Yeah.
Where I started it and I was like, oh, there's something happened, and then I just didn't play it again. So there's nothing against it.
Yeah, that I could see that because the first game I loaded into, because apparently the premise of it is something happens, your plane crashes in the Canadian wilderness, so you've just got to survive. There's no like monsters. There's nothing like that. It's just literally you're in the wilderness. You got to figure it out.
Right.
The first game I loaded into at night, and I promptly froze to death, probably in 10 minutes because I couldn't find. I didn't know what to do, so I just froze to death. I've been taking a couple more cracks at it. It's kind of like when we started playing Don't Starve together.
Right.
There's a bit of a learning curve. You got to figure out kind of what everything does, what you can and can't do with certain things. Mm-hmm. So I'm slowly getting better at it. The one gripe I have, just like the gripe I have with Hell Let Loose, is you move so slow. Like, I get it, you're in the Canadian wilderness and you're trying to walk through snow drifts, but I really feel that me as a person, I could traverse them much easier than what this guy's dealing with. So I've been playing that. I didn't watch any Peaky Blinders last time we talked. I was working on watching that. I haven't watched any of that. I did watch Beer Fest the other day, which if you've ever seen Beer Fest, is an amazing movie. And then, gosh, what else was I doing? I don't know. And then I was watching some stand-up comic stuff on Netflix. I was watching like Bill Burr, Tom Segura, and John Mulaney. Those are probably the three. When I want to watch something like that, that's what I throw on. So I watched some of that, and then I don't know. Today was the last day of the month, which is always chaotic as heck at work. So very glad to be done with that. I usually don't ever get off work late. I get off work till almost 6 today. It was like 5:45 or something like that, which is, because I'm on salary, man. I'm not trying to work anything over 40 ever.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't want to give you any free labor. But besides that, no. Like I said, I went yesterday. Earlier, and I trimmed my beard down a little bit.
Oh, good. Yeah.
A little too short, I would say, but that's okay. It'll grow back. So just a little bit, So, but that's all I've been doing. I really haven't done anything. And then I've been, I'm drinking lots of these because my family wasn't home. So,
He says.
So all I did was
these. He's talking about beer.
No, this is ginger ale. What are you talking about? This is beer.
He's drinking ginger ale. I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's what ginger ale looks like in a glass, to be honest with you. I have no clue. I have no clue what color ginger ale.
I don't either. Yeah, I think it's similar to that.
Or is it more like a clear?
Let us know. Send us a message wherever it is that you're doing it. Let us know what color ginger ale is, because we don't actually know.
Anyone.
Very interesting.
Because I don't have any in the house, and I'm not going to go buy any to be completely honest with you.
But who has ginger ale? That could be a conspiracy theory right there too. Like, is ginger ale even real?
It is real because my middle daughter, my 11-year-old, really likes ginger ale, and every time we go to a gas station and she's allowed to get a soda, she always goes and gets ginger ale. So like 90% of the time, that's what she picks.
It's almost like child abuse, but on her own,
It is. It's like only letting her only have Fresca. I've never seen Fresca at anybody's house besides like my aunts and then like her friends of houses we went to. Like, I've not seen. Yeah. I've never had Fresca in my house. Why would you?
I did one time. I tried it. I tried it. It was not for me.
There are better options, like Mellow Yellow. Mellow Yellow is a good one.
Yeah, well, I just got to drink decaf of whatever I'm drinking. I can drink anything,
Well, luckily for you, Mellow Yellow is decaf. So,
no, it's not.
Mellow Yellow, it's like a citrus soda.
There is no way. Mellow Yellow is like the cheap man's version of Mountain Dew.
Dude, I will get up right now. Actually, I can't get up right now. I could get up right now and go get you a can of Mellow Yellow. Google it right now. Does Mellow Yellow have caffeine? Google it. You gotta look it up now. I am
the Google machine.
If Mellow Yellow has caffeine, I'm gonna be shocked because if it's like the evening and I'm gonna have a soda, I always have something like a Mellow Yellow, so I don't have caffeine. If there's caffeine in Mellow Yellow, I'm gonna be very upset.
Be prepared to be upset. Surprise! It's not the Coke, which has 15.6 fewer milligrams of caffeine per 12-ounce can than Mellow Yellow. So apparently it has What? I don't understand what that even is.
They're making it confusing so we don't know on purpose. Is what they're doing.
Where, what? Okay. Pepsi 1 apparently has the most. Where did Mellow Yellow even go? I don't even see it now. Okay. Mellow Yellow is 33.9 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh gosh, I can't drink Mellow. I'm not gonna drink any more Mellow Yellow. I did not know that. Like literally, as a 36-year-old man, did not know that Mellow Yellow had caffeine. It's clear. I assumed it didn't. I figured clear sodas don't have caffeine. No?
What? Caffeine doesn't add the color to soda.
Well, I just assumed. Well.
You know, a lot of root beer, which is very dark, has no caffeine.
Well, I knew that, but I figured it was just because it was root beer.
But then you get Barks and to you, Barks, so hopefully they're not trying to sponsor us.
Do they have caffeine?
They got a lot of caffeine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why the commercials used to say Barks has Bite, because it has caffeine in it. Of course, I know this stuff because I know that I need to get away from caffeine, you know?
Yeah, I'm not trying to stay away really from too many things.
Right.
But I learned something today. Being 36, I had no idea. I just, like I said, it's clear. It's like Sprite, right? I just assumed that there's no caffeine in it.
Clear drinks have no caffeine. Remember that, everybody? That's important.
Well, you know what they say when you assume things. You make an ass out of Sleepy and Sleepy is what happens. Just me. So, no one else, apparently.
You know, the old saying.
The old saying, make an ass out of Sleepy.
The old adage. You're going to make an ass out of Sleepy. Oh, God.
Well, what have you been doing? Like, what have you been? I know you've been playing a lot of Deep Rock. You been playing much else besides that? I don't think you have. I think it's been mostly Deep Rock.
Let's see. Sorry. That was a yawn for people who didn't know. Sorry.
It was a big boy yawn. Very good.
It sounded very manly too. I hit them high notes. So I have been playing a lot of Deep Rock, and I mean ridiculous amount of Deep Rock, to the point that I have played 0 Battlefield and 0 Halo since Deep Rock.
Oh, believe me, I noticed. So
it's crazy.
Oh, it's fun though. It's
and
fun
then
game.
It is, and then it gets deeper. The game gets deeper because you get into once you hit that max level 25, then there's deeper dives where you have to do 3 dives in a row, which then unlocks other stuff in the forge. And once you get into the forge, then it unlocks overcharges for weapons.
We're just scratching the surface of Deep Rock, is what you're saying. We're just at the beginning.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, other than that, I have been playing more Loop Hero. Oh my God. Why am I yawning so much? I've been playing more Loop Hero on my Switch. So in the evening times when the kids are falling asleep, I'm just hanging out playing on a Switch, you know? And that's what I play, is that. But TV shows and stuff, I'm all caught up on Peacemaker, which is a phenomenal show, if you haven't watched that.
I haven't seen it yet.
Did you see the new Suicide Squad movie?
I have not.
Okay, well, it's the new Suicide Squad movie. Has John Cena in it, and he's a character named Peacemaker. Well, they did a show, and it's on HBO Max or something. It's on HBO somehow, but I watch it on HBO Max, and it's so good. It's so good.
I want to see it. I just haven't had time. I've had lots of time. I just don't watch these things that often. So
there's a difference between I don't have any time and I just didn't make time.
I just didn't make time to do that. I was doing other things.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to make your choices on how you spend your free time, right?
That's true.
You chose what you want to do, so.
Yeah.
But, I've been caught up on that. Caught up on my, let's see, I didn't watch any. I started watching The Eternals, but then I got caught up in the TV shows that I'm trying to get caught back up on. Like Euphoria, which is such a good show. It's on HBO as well. If I'm paying for HBO, then I'm watching them HBO shows. You know, I don't want it to be I'm paying for HBO and I don't ever watch anything on it. No, I'm watching stuff. But no, they're both really, really good TV shows. So, other than that, just been hanging out. It snowed a lot here in Delaware. It snowed a lot. And that was on Saturday. and it ended about Saturday at noon. And because Delaware is not good with a lot of snow, and they're not used to it, like we were living in North Dakota, where it was like, well, it snowed a lot, and all the roads are plowed, and all of the sidewalks are plowed, and
Delaware's not like that? I would assume Delaware would be like that, you know?
God, no, they're terrible. They literally like came through our housing here and did one path down the middle.
And that's it. That's all y'all got.
That's it. Yep, no sidewalks, no up to the curb or anything. It was literally just, it'll be gone in a couple of days. So, my 5-year-old did not have school today. And then tomorrow they say that he's supposed to be doing online learning on the computer.
Mm-hmm. Man, let's stop there for a second. What a glorious time. We got out of school at the right time, because when we had snow days as kids, it was an actual day off. Like you'd go outside, you play, and then you did all this other fun stuff kids do.
Yep.
When my kids have a snow day, every time it's a snow day, it's online learning day. So they have a ton of stuff that they have to, not a ton, but you know what I mean? They got to spend 2 to 3 hours of their day doing homework and doing stuff, you know, and they're like, well, this is so lame. And it's just like, yeah, it is. And you were born at the wrong time. You were born way too late.
Yep.
You should have been born when I was, because if the school is canceled, you just didn't go to school, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. We still had internet at home, be it dial-up internet or something, you know, but I'll take dial-up over nothing.
I would, until your mom got on the phone, picked it up, and just ruined whatever you were doing, you know?
Yep.
And I had one of those moms who did not care about what, like, we were doing at any time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She needed to use the phone. She's like, well, too bad. And then she was just, that was a very bad impression of my mom. If you're watching, I'm sorry.
You sounded just like her. I don't even care.
Yep. I hope she never sees this. I hope that. Oh, I don't care what you're doing. That's a little. That my second try is always better, I feel, than my first, or maybe it's worse. I don't know.
Oh my God. We're like 15 minutes in,
Cheers,
and it
Mom.
just got derailed.
Cheers, Mom.
Cheers, Mom. Well, our social media person is my sister Tara. So right there, Tara, there's one of the clips you're going to be making. Without a doubt.
Hey, you know what? You're welcome. You're welcome, listeners and viewers.
Oh my God!
But don't tell my mom.
Why was it so low pitched?
I don't know. I don't
even care.
I don't care what you're doing. That's. I don't know.
My God!
I don't even know how we transitioned away from this.
Nope, we don't. Well, here's what we do. We say, from that silliness, we go to the silliness of our episode today.
Yes.
Because this episode is going to be really ridiculous.
Oh,
to the point
it's going to be a ride. It's going to be a ride today, folks. So I hope you're buckled up, hope you're ready. So.
Oh my God. Okay, so Sleepy, what are we learning about today? What conspiracy?
We are going to jump right into the conspiracy that beginning in the 50s and extending to present day, that all of the birds that you see around us in nature, you know, maybe you put up a birdhouse or a bird feeder to see them, you know, watch them enjoy coming into your yard or something like that. But these aren't actually birds. What you're looking at are very sophisticated government surveillance drones that have been put out there and have replaced all of the birds in the United States. According to this theory, there are no actual living birds in the United States, and every single one that you see is a highly sophisticated government drone that is placed there to help spy on the populace. So we're going to look into the origins of this to see how this started. There is a website. I don't know if any of you have maybe traversed this. What is that website called? It is birdsaren'treal.com. So pretty easy to remember. So I mean, they've got a whole backstory. They even have the history of you know what, they have the facts of how this started.
Well, let's put a quote on that.
Okay,
facts.
There we go. That's better. They have the facts on this, on how this started, how it was progressed through. It actually, in their explanation, explains a few other conspiracy theories on some things that happened, and
Ooh.
all the way going to present day and also what the current Birds Aren't Real movement is doing.
God.
Which they're busy people. You believe it or not, they're very busy, busy nowadays.
He's not kidding.
So
it is wild. So, let's see. Let me, because the majority of this is going to be you. Like a majority of this is going to be you and just me reacting because it's wild. This all started because of who? Dwight Eisenhower?
Well, it was
Eisen?
in 1947. The CIA was formed, and its main responsibility was to watch over Americans that they suspected of being communists or anti-American behavior.
Communists.
So in that went on for a year, for about 4 years. Then a man named Alan Dulles, whatever the heck his name was, took over the program. Dulles? Is that what his name is?
Isn't that the airport in Washington, D.C., is Dulles?
I've never been to Washington, D.C. I've never flown through there. All my flying is done like Southwest and like Midwest, like, and down towards Texas.
Midwest represent, yay. Sorry.
But anyways, this guy ran the CIA for a few years, but he came to the conclusion, that putting out all these little cameras on the ground or in buildings and stuff trying to track people, it was too time consuming. It was way too much, way too long. So he met with Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1956. You remember they got hard dates. They got hard dates on the Birds Aren't Real website, so it's got to be true.
It even says April 15th, 1956.
Yeah, so
like the specific date.
Like you don't put a hard date out there unless you've got your stuff together, right?
Oh yeah, and they got quotes and stuff on here too. Wee.
I know. Well, the plan that he told Eisenhower was that the best way to make their program more efficient would be to put cameras in the sky. So they went about and trying to figure out how they're going to put cameras in the sky. As it happened,
what's it say?
Yeah, go ahead.
One camera in the sky could do the work of hundreds on the ground.
Right, one camera, just kind of zip-zopping around.
One camera.
Zip-zopping.
Zip-zopping.
Not only are we talking about the 50s, I am from the 50s. Apparently.
Zip zoppity boo. Let's go. Those ain't birds. Zip zoppity doo.
I swear to God, it's the first one I've had. This is the first one. I've been doing this all day.
This is a silly episode.
So in May 1956, Dulles and his team had a meeting, and they were trying to figure out, okay, how do we do this? But it just so happened that they all hated birds with a burning passion. And they were heard on many occasions called them flying slugs and scum of the sky. The main reason they didn't like them is because they would poop on their cars all the time. That was 90% of the problem with the...
It's so ridiculous.
That's why they wanted to get rid of them. So, let's just jump forward.
I'm going to get rid of mosquitoes because they bite me. Those are next. And then the spiders because they scare me. Can't wait. Get rid of them all.
This is so... I don't even want to... I want to go through this, but I don't. It's just explaining how much they actually hated birds and what other plans they had to get rid of them. And anyways, we're just hitting the main points here. So we hit that one. Let's see here. In this meeting, they decided, okay, we hate birds so much because they're putting bird poop over our cars, and we don't like that at all. So 2 birds with 1 stone. We're gonna kill all the birds, so they're gonna stop going to the bathroom all over our stuff, and we can turn them, get rid of them and replace them with cameras. So cameras in the sky, and they realize this is perfect because not only can they traverse and go anywhere, just kind of fly around, not going to be going to the bathroom all over their vehicles anymore. So at that point, they put together. We're gonna jump ahead here a little bit. They put together this program. We'll go into how it was executed shortly, but between the years of 1959 and 1971, they were able to extinguish over 12 billion birds in the United States. So
12 billion birds.
12. I got a question. Just we stop right there. Because I know there's lots of animals. Do you think that there is 12 billion birds in the United States, at all?
Oh yeah,
that's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like a lot.
Well, we were driving today, and I had to see. I think I saw 250 like in one little area. And I'm like, that's a really terrible use of your cameras, but
that really is.
Maybe there's something going down.
Exactly.
Trying to get a bunch of angles.
Probably something happening there that you weren't aware of.
Yeah, they were close to a Taco Bell, so they might want to be. I don't know why, but you gotta get all those angles on that Taco Bell.
Somebody was in that Taco Bell. They're very, very interested in it. Apparently, what's funny is like I have a buddy in I went to high school with. After high school, I'm not joking. He hit 3 owls in a 2-month period. That he had to have his windshield replaced 3 times. I think it was in 2 months because owls kept hitting his windshield when he was driving. So you think back about
wait. When he hit these owls, were there like cameras and stuff? Could he see like electrical parts coming out of them?
He never found the actual owl. I don't believe.
Weird.
And hey, just because you think that there's bird stuff and stuff coming out, it may look like it. No, my friend. There's a whole explanation as to how that works that we will get to. So just because it looks like a dead bird doesn't mean anything. So
that's on the outside. The inside
Oh,
is where the electronics is.
According to this, the technology that the government possesses to make synthetic robots appear real, even if you were to like shoot and eat one, it's years ahead of where you think we are. So
okay, all right, I am ecstatic for that. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's go forward a little bit. So, like we said, they had their plan between those years. They exterminated successfully, I might add, as they stated, 12 billion birds. 12 billion birds just gone. Let's see. And you may ask yourself, okay, how did they do this? How do you just get rid of all these birds without anybody noticing?
That's a great question.
So basically what they did is the government invented an aerosol agent that they distributed through B-52 bombers between those time frames that were loaded onto these giant fuel canisters. And according to what the excellent research I've done, this aerosol was designed so that way when it was sprayed in the air, it would completely dissipate or dissolve or be dissolve's not a bad word, isn't a good word for that, but it would be rendered useless by the time it hit the ground. Yeah, gas don't dissolve. Maybe it does. I don't know. I wasn't all that good in science. But
chemistry.
By the time it would hit the ground, it would be gone. Couldn't hurt anybody or anything. It was also because you may think to yourself, you may be asking, hey, Sleepy and Peaswad, if all these birds died, where are they at?
That's a great question.
Well, to answer your question, this aerosol was specifically designed that over the course of 24 to 36 hours, once it was ingested by a bird, it would slowly, rather quickly, dissolve said bird into nothing, and it would just blow away in the dust. So if you're wondering...
Operation Giant Net, they skipped Operation Giant Net.
Mm-hmm.
Where you make a net the size of the United States, and then once all the birds are in the air, you just scoop.
Yeah, they skip that hole, and they're like, we're just going to dissolve them with...
okay, all right, well, I guess.
They're just going to do that.
Wait, okay, so when was this? This was between 59 to 71?
This is between 59 and 71. Now, we can jump back a little bit.
I wonder if anybody back in those days were like, man, where are any of the birds?
Well, here's the thing. At the same time while they were getting rid of the birds, they were continuously putting birds out into the populace for cameras. So if they would kill birds, they would
but their
them.
Birds would not be dissolved.
Yeah, so if they go out one night and kill 100,000 birds, they just launch 100,000 bird drones, bird robots.
And their birds are protected from the dissolving agent.
Well, because they're robots. It's not going to dissolve a robot. It was more like a disease is what they released, I guess you would say. It was like an aerosol type disease, a form of leprosy per se.
A leprechaun seed.
Yeah. But we can go back, as far as the B-52 bombers, obviously you can't just order hundreds of these, as a CIA agency and not cause any ruckus. So what they did is they went and found, and Peaswad, read this as well. They found 23 of the best Boeing engineers they could, and had them and brought them to Area 51 to build these. Because if you build these all at the Boeing facility, people are gonna be like, "Wow, what are these all for? This is crazy. So many jobs. Like, when is this never gonna end?"
Right
now, as Peaswad, if you want to run through how the trip went, or I can run through how the trip went.
Yeah. It was 23 men. They were Boeing engineering department. They traveled to Area 51 from, I don't even know how to say it, Mukilteo, Washington. Okay, so Washington State. We'll just say Washington State.
Yeah.
They were in a school bus that was salvaged, that was purchased from a salvage yard, and they were clearly going to Area 51 because they painted Area 51 or bust on both sides of the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they would stop at like gas station stuff, people would be like, "What?" Oh God! And they'd sing songs with titles of "I left my honey for Area 51" and "Let's kill all the birds." How are you going to travel around and sing songs like that? Says exactly what's happening.
Tragically, only 22 of the 23 made it because
Yeah.
What was the name of the gentleman who did not make it? Neil Ford. Neil Ford
Yep.
was left behind in a Waffle House bathroom because he had to pee too often and was, and I quote, harshing the vibe of the trip. So, just too bad for Neil Ford. And, I looked through all this. It doesn't, it says here that Neil spoke with one of the founding members of Birds Aren't Real movement shortly before his death in 1994. Let's see. Did he say anything that mattered? No, it just says he spoke.
He spoke with them.
No details, but they met.
Yep. Oh my God. I mean, I spoke with the vice president once.
Nice.
Not a joke. I did. I spoke with a vice president once. Yeah, for real. He was at a McDonald's in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and my mom was like, "That's the vice president." And I was like, "Okay," because I was like in, I don't even know, 6th, 7th grade, so I don't care, And it was like, she was like, "Go up and talk to him, but don't go talk to him. Go talk to the Secret Service." So I was like, "Okay."
So you saw
went up, and I'm like,
Al Gore. Is that who you're talking about?
No, before Al Gore, because we're old.
Gosh,
it would have been.
Who was George?
I can't think of his name.
Who was George? George W.
He
Bush's?
couldn't spell potatoes.
Was it Bob Dole? Or was
No,
it Dan
no,
Quayle? I have no idea who.
Dan Quayle.
Was it
Dan Quayle? That's
all
it.
right. There we go.
Yep.
Dan Quayle, you
so
say?
I talked to Vice President Dan Quayle, person to person.
Sounds like a bird.
So, hey, you can come up with whatever conspiracy you want about that. What did we talk about when I was in 7th grade?
So we can.
Anyways, back to birds.
Well, back to the bird stuff. So after all these engineers got to Boeing, they built all these planes. Took them a couple of years. So in 1959, they actually launched the program. They named it Operation Water the Country because they were, watering the country. Because part of the problem is because you can't just have people just flying around in these airplanes saying, hey, they wanted to keep as little people involved as possible. So they told these pilots, hey, you're just watering the grass through the country. So just fly over these areas and just spray. They told me it was water. So that's how they were doing it. I'm not joking. That's what they say they were doing. They just lied to him and said, hey, this is just water. Why don't you just
Country's real thirsty.
Yeah, the country, water the grass. And nobody likes brown grass. We can jump up a little bit further.
Wow.
For a long, long time, only the CIA was aware of this, and very, very few other people. Even sitting presidents at the time, John F. Kennedy, when he eventually came along, all these other presidents, nobody ever had any idea. Let's see here. They didn't have any idea. Let me see here. But it did get noticed, though, by John F. Kennedy, at one point, because, I don't know if you've read this, but his lunch kept getting stolen out of the fridge. So he's just like, and he suspected that it was Alvin B. Cleaver, the head of communications director for the CIA. So he had his phone tapped, and he was hoping to catch him on the phone. Talking to somebody about it. And we actually have a quoted conversation here that was recorded that taken verbatim. Let's see here. It says, Alan said, Cleaver said, yeah, Alan, I've stolen John's lunch again. Ha ha. He doesn't even know. I'm going to keep stealing it until he launches a full investigation. Then I'm going to plant a hidden camera and catch his reaction as I dump all the stolen sandwiches on his desk at one time. I'm going to call the new show, You've Been Cleavered. To which...
Who steals from the president?
So
that's the one person you don't steal from.
Yeah, not his sandwich. But to which Duels responded, haha, Alvin, that's going to be so funny. We'll have to play that clip at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. By the way, how's the bird slaughter going? How many birds have you killed so far?
So casual.
It says, we've killed 22 million so far. The best thing is the robot birds we've released in their place have done such a good job that nobody even suspects a thing. There it is. Quote, mail it down, mark it, right there, admitted.
It's over. It's out in the open.
Well,
it's over.
John Kennedy heard this conversation, and obviously he
So
confronted...
wait, time out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this conversation available somewhere to the public?
It's not. According to them, we can jump forward a little bit. According to these people, I believe it was in the 80s or early 90s, their facilities were raided.
Okay.
The anti-bird movement's facilities were raided, and a lot of the recordings, witness reports that they'd had, some of the evidence was stolen by the government. Then they can't get it back. So kind of what they're left with now, and after the government was able to take all their evidence, all they're left with is kind of, the stories.
Memories.
As you would
Memories,
say.
yep.
The glory days of the Birds Aren't Real movement.
Remember when we had those proof of, collusion and all that stuff? Like, we had so much proof, and then they just took it.
Yeah, and
those
then
were the days.
and then and I guess it hadn't occurred to him over the last 30 years. Maybe just get some more. Just like, we already did all that work once. We're not going to do that again. It'd take way too much time. Why would I do that?
Yeah, we already heard it once. We don't need to hear it twice.
So
we know the truth.
But as we continue, John F. Kennedy was very upset, obviously, when he found out that they were just killing all the birds.
Wait, was he upset about the sandwiches or about the birds?
You know,
Which one is he more upset about?
It doesn't say anything about the sandwiches, so I guess maybe that was dealt with on another day. Or actually, maybe not dealt with at all, because according to this right here, the CIA wanted to continue with the program, and John F. Kennedy was like, no, we have to stop this. We can't kill all these birds, da-da-da-da-da.
Good call.
Need to be, da-da-da-da-da, we go here. But once this order was given, which was on October 29th, he was shown, October 25th, 1963, Kennedy was shown a prototype of the Turkey X500, a robot that specialized in killing larger birds like eagles and falcons.
That's what I'm laughing at. I unintentionally read that, and I just saw the word Turkey X500 and was like, no.
But anyways,
Oh my God.
Despite this, John F. Kennedy said, hey, we need to shut this program down. And less than a month later, he was dead. Then Birds Aren't Real, website doesn't say. He says here, now I'm not saying these events are correlated, but I am. So they are officially blaming the assassination of John F. Kennedy on the CIA for trying to stop the replacement of the bird population with robots and surveillance drones.
So replacing a bird population is that important that they murdered a president?
Yes. Because ever since then, the CIA has apparently helped to steer elections in the right way to only get officials and presidents who are anti-bird elected and who are okay with this program. So only anti-bird presidents from John F. Kennedy forward, going all the way from Johnson all the way to Biden. So all anti-bird they all hate birds. They all hate birds.
What?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that Barack Obama hated birds?
Apparently, according to this. I just wanted to see if you guys can see this here. The Fight the Menace. The Fight the Menace page that they have. Real quick right there.
Oh,
Time to fight
God.
the feathered menace. Birds aren't real.
If you're not listening to this on YouTube, remember, he just showed the picture. Or go to birdsaren'treal.com and then their history. So it's right there.
Boy, oh boy, would I...
The winner writes the history book.
God, would I suggest taking a trip down this rocky road that we're all on at the moment together.
Oh my God.
Do you want to hear about how birds aren't real and the CIA was involved in the Vietnam War? Would you like to learn about that, Peaswad?
Do I?
Okay, well,
that's all I've ever wanted.
One of the largest. Okay, well, first of all, let's address this. The operation for this whole process and getting rid of the bird was called Water the Country, or what do they call it for short, Peaswad? WTC was the name of the operation. Is what it says right here. That's what they named it. That was the short version of it.
Also, World Trade Center, WTC.
Mm-hmm. And then
my God.
And then our right here, our own little podcast here at WTC. But anyways,
oh my God!
To make all of these drones, they needed a mineral called bauxite.
Wait, what?
Bauxite. Apparently, it's some type of aluminum or something. I don't know. I don't even know if this is a real thing. I didn't look up to see if this was real. It's probably not. But anyways, it's essential in the robot making process. And you know who had the third largest mineral deposits of bauxite?
I could take a wild guess, and that would be Vietnam.
It was. So all of
Weird,
these,
right?
So according to this theory, you know, when troops were going in to fight the communists, it wasn't there about communists. They were trying to secure these mineral deposits. So they would go into these areas thinking that they're fighting communists, which they were fighting people, but they weren't really there to try to stop communism. They were there to try to secure these large mineral deposits so that the government could take them, which they did to a bunker in Colorado, is where this is. They were able to successfully get it all out of Vietnam and bring it to...
So all the bauxite is in...
A bunker in Colorado. Yeah, a bunker in Colorado is where it's at.
Okay.
How do you say Colorado? Do you say Colorado or Colorado?
Colorado.
How do you say
Colorado.
No.
Colorado.
No, it's Colorado. I lived next to it. Well, so did you. It's Colorado.
Yes, we did.
We both
Separate
did.
states. Colorado.
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 I say Colorado. I don't know. I say crown, too. I don't say crayon. I say crowns.
Oh, God.
I'm just not good with words. Just not good with words. I didn't have that good learning, apparently. So,
you hurt my feelings just now by saying crown instead of crayon.
crowns.
Oh, no.
Crowns.
Oh, it's like you just squished it together.
Yeah, you just
said, here's the word.
I ain't got time.
Crowns.
I don't got enough time to pronounce all the stuff in there.
I can't say crayon. I say crowns.
Crowns. Crowns.
Oh, Jesus. That's amazing.
All right, well, we can jump through. I can assure you folks we're almost through the history of this. It's coming to a close.
Jesus.
Okay, where else are we going here? Okay, you would think as well. Okay, so if all these people, you're making all these robots and all these drones, who's assembling them? Peaswad? Like who's putting these together? When one person out of these thousands upon thousands of people step forward and tell us the truth about what's going on? The answer is, yep. You go ahead.
I got a guess. I got a great guess.
You got a great guess. Okay.
You take death row people.
Okay.
People who are on death row because they're going to die on death row, or people who have life in prison with no possibility of parole.
Mm-hmm.
You have them do this stuff, put it together, have them have nice accommodations for them being in jail for the rest of their lives. But then once you no longer need them,
yep, that's one way. The other way is the government would send people down to bars and nightclubs, and they would look for people that appeared that they would be good at building a robot bird. You know, just kind of pick them out of the crowd. So, and what they would do is they would approach and be like, hey, we're going to this other party, and we're going to do acid and stuff. Do you want to go? And these people would be like, yes or no. If they said yes,
of course,
the government would give them, okay, like, they would say we're going to a costume party. So the government would be like, okay, you're going to dress up like a iron worker or something. They'd put them in their overalls and stuff. And they'd give them a fake tab of acid, and then they would drive them to the facility where they were building the robots. And then they would just have the person for the next few days just build robot birds. And then once they were done with them, they would just go drop them off somewhere. And then that person would just be like, if anybody told them everyone, they'd be like, man, I was tripping on acid. I had this super weird experience where I was driving down this road to this factory, and then I built bird robots for like 3 days. And then I woke up at home. So that's one of the main ways they've been able to hide it.
That's genius, actually. Like, that is genius.
Leave it to the government.
Oh my God. I went to this crazy bunker. It was a secret, and it was in Colorado, and I was on acid first off, but we went to this place, and I built a whole bunch of birds that weren't really birds. They were actually, not birds. They're robots. Like, listen, acid head. Nobody believes you. Shut up.
What are you doing? Shut up. It's like, shut up, burnout. Go over there. Like, leave us alone.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Okay, so let's see where we're at here. We got the start of the movement, the start of the Birds Aren't Real movement, which started in 1973.
Boom.
Yep, 1973 is when people finally caught wind after 14 years of bird genocide, or murdering, slaughter. Clark Griffin, he was an outspoken activist against the Vietnam War, not for bird reasons. He just, he was sold the same story. And now that the war ended, the after
he needed to put his anger somewhere else.
Exactly, he needs something else. Well, it doesn't say here who he met with, but somebody from the government who knew about this met with him and told him what was going on, knowing that he would get behind the movement, start the movement, and just take it from there, which he did. Let's see. In 1987, Clark tried to get a ad on the Super Bowl in 1987, which the government stopped and confiscated the original film, and no one has ever seen it. And then,
too bad.
it's just Clark Griffith disappeared, though, during a 1991 rally in San Francisco, never to be heard from again for a Birds Aren't Real rally. So he's gone. No one knows where he's at.
So is he a bird? Was he a bird? Was he dissolved?
I think the main thing is they think the government murdered him because he knew too much.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
so he wasn't a bird. He wasn't a bird.
Yeah, he wasn't.
It's confirmed that he was not a bird. He was a human.
So he kind of laid the groundwork for this movement all the way from the 70s up until today, according to what I've read, which I can only go by what I can find. So this is what I've read.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just some common questions, just real quick, that some people would have. Some people kind of ask, but Sleepy, if birds aren't real, how do they fly out of the United States to Mexico and Canada? And that's a great question.
True. How do they migrate?
Well, typically they aren't. They're programmed to not cross. The majority of them don't. Obviously there are some that are. But they do say that they're, this is a conspiracy, that they're tying it to something else here. They say that some of these birds do go over into like Mexico and those there to pick up illegal drugs to bring back to plant and leave in the lower income communities of the United States.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's how they said, the government was.
They serve so many purposes.
Yeah, serve so many purposes. Also another.
It's like you're walking down the street and a bag of weed just kind of into your back pocket.
And then
it was the birds.
Now you're doing 2 to 10, so now it's over for you. But the more common explanation they say, obviously, is that American citizens travel a lot. So these birds, if you see a bird flying over the border, it's because it's on its way to track an American citizen that traveled outside the country. So that's what he's doing.
Oh,
he's there on purpose. Now we can get to
what are the birds made of? Time out. We still didn't talk about that.
We're getting there. We're getting there. I've got a list here of frequently asked questions that is posed to the Birds Aren't Real movement.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So right here, the first one is, what do you mean birds aren't real? And they say that's very very black and white question. It means birds aren't real. It means the entire bird populace in the United States was eliminated over the last 60 years. There are very limited amount of birds that are in the United States that are real, because obviously there's some birds from real birds from other countries can fly over us, but there are solutions that they're working towards to prevent that from happening in the future. So we don't want any Canada geeses,
Operation Giant Net,
gooses, or I don't even know what kind of birds.
Geese.
What kind of birds do Mexico have? I guess just regular birds. Bluebirds?
I don't know. I've no idea.
I'm guessing they have the same birds as some of the same birds we do. Anyways. Okay, so and they say, what is bird poop then? Because there's still bird poop everywhere to this day.
True.
I mean, there's some in my truck right now.
Exactly. They're still pooping on cars, which was the whole ordeal in the beginning. So what the hell, man?
So what that is, that's actually a synthetic I'm gonna say microchip compound, but it's some synthetic compound that has tracking capabilities for the United States government. So if you go outside and you see that a bird has pooped on your car, just know that you are being tracked by the government right now, and they advise that you go and wash your car immediately to prevent as little tracking as possible.
Okay, with that being said, do you think how many car washing places are owned by the people who own Birds Aren't Real? Because if people are listening to them, they're getting their car washed all the time. That's so much money that they're making. Oh. They're creating a conspiracy to make themselves more money.
Yeah, we'll look into this. We might have to have a part 2 of this one for sure.
We just crack some wide open stuff. This is what we do here.
Yeah.
We think outside of the box.
Okay, now here's your question. As far as bird meat. Okay, so
bird meat.
All meat found in birds today is 100% synthetic. 100% synthetic. Okay, so it's not real. You know how you have like
vegetarian?
Yeah, you know how you have like the Impossible Whopper from Burger King? It's made of that.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's made of that.
I've never eaten it, but I've heard of it.
That's what it's made of. I've never eaten it either. It sounds terrible. So that's what it is. Also, the robots, to explain how... well, what about birds that people hunt and or roadkill? How do you explain bird guts? The entire question is based off of a flawed understanding of what a robot is. The government contains and possesses such advanced technology right now that they can make a robot out of almost completely synthetic material with nanobots in the fabric or meat of this to help control it. So that way, when one gets hit by a car, or Peaswad's brother shoots one when he's pheasant hunting and then eats it, you might as well tell him it's like you ate a robot and you ate nanobots, so you're probably being tracked right now. You shouldn't do that.
That's another way that they track us.
Yeah, eating the nanobots.
Oh my God.
And we've already covered this. Where'd all the dead birds go? They were obviously dissolved over the course of a day after contracting whatever they contracted. Look at my old man notes.
Easily.
Like Peaswad's over here with like his 2 screens. I've got like highlights. Two different people.
Yep, but it works.
I set up this whole webcam and mic and all this other stuff to print off hard facts.
And I'm doing the same thing. It's just on this screen right here.
Yeah. Okay, so now they have some advice. This says, I'm ready. You may ask yourself, Sleepy and Peaswad, I have a pet bird. What do I do? Not to startle you, but what you have there is a highly advanced government drone in your house keeping tabs on you at all times. And you should...
So much for your privacy.
Yeah, so much for the privacy. And pet birds were actually unheard of before 2001, if you didn't know this. They were a government program, a conspiracy pushed by the government to get, more birds in more houses. So that way, more monitoring could take place. Because if you think about having a pet bird, it's in a cage. That's ridiculous. You're supposed to be out flying around. Like, why would you put one in a cage? That's crazy.
My dad has had pet birds since I've known him. Of course, he's my dad, so birth. So my dad has had pet birds since at least 1985. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he was just ahead of the curve, I guess. I guess.
They weren't even known until 2001. Let me tell you something, birdsaren'treal.com.
Hey, and you know what? And also as well, not all birds are surveillance drones. There are a few that serve other purposes. Vultures, for instance, are for sanitation and like road cleanup.
Okay, yeah.
And hummingbirds are assassins. They use those to assassinate rivals. So, because they have the long pointy thing. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Like that,
Yeah. Have you ever seen a hummingbird in real life?
In my old house, we had a willow tree, and during the summertime, we'd get dozens of them around it. It was actually pretty cool.
Oh.
There were a bunch of them. It was really, so we had all these feeders out for them and stuff, which, according to what I'm reading now, was a horrendous idea. I shouldn't have done that. But we had, anyways.
You could have died at any moment.
Yeah. But this tree,
Assassins.
We had this tree, and like I said, they used to be all around it. And then we had an ice storm one year down here in Georgia, and a big branch from another tree fell off and literally cut this tree in half. And then I didn't get to see hummingbirds anymore. So one time I was a kid, and I was running home, and it was dark. And on the corner of the street in my hometown, there was a bunch of flowers, like literally like right underneath the lamp. There was a light right there. And so I was running. And as in the process of me running up this giant hill, I look over and I just see 800 miles an hour, whatever the hell they're doing, and it scared me half to death because I was like a kid. I was probably in 9th grade or something.
And like I looked over and I was like, I've never seen a hummingbird in real life before until that point, and it literally scared the taco out of me. You know,
you ever seen bats flying around?
Oh yeah,
I'm about to say, when you come down here, if we hang out in the backyard and stuff, when it starts getting dusk, you can see them flying up there around the trees and stuff. So I don't know where they're coming from around where I live, but they're around. So
yeah, they were all over in Okinawa, like so many, so many. Well, it says here that 95%, about 95% in our neighborhood, and all over America, 95% are
drones.
Fake.
Yeah, because there's obviously gonna be some crossover. We can't keep all of the birds from Mexico or Canada from coming in here, so a few of them are gonna get in. But they're working on a solution. We don't even need to mention it, but they because it's top secret. But they are working on solutions to prevent birds from getting over. Now
you don't need to talk about it because it's top secret. Like, you know what it is, and we aren't going to talk about it on here.
No. From what I've read, they say it's top secret. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on in the next room. Like, I'm getting ready to be done with this shortly, and I have no idea what they're doing. I think my family's.
You're gonna walk out there and be like, "Oh, hey, whoa!"
I'm looking at the time here, and I know my family's home by now, so they're all probably just God dang it, Dad's in there being. We gotta be quiet. God. I sound like my mom. Sorry. That's just like, I think that's just the voice I make when I'm imitating an adult. Cause when I was a kid, that's apparently what I thought all adults sounded like. You guys are just stuck with me. And then the rest of the website here, I'm not even going to go into. I highly recommend you go check out yourself. Very informative.
Yeah. That's a way to put it.
There's definitely one way to put it. So we've covered all that. We've covered what it is, what they're doing, why they're doing it, why it's happening. In a nutshell, they do it to put surveillance on the United States citizens, so that way it's easier to keep track of us than it is to, tap all of our phones or put cameras in all of our houses, even though we all carry phones, and I'm just 100% sure that they're following me or tracking me through that and watching me anyway, so who cares?
Exactly. Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You got to go off the grid. Don't be on the internet. Don't have a phone. Don't have a camera.
Yeah.
Then you're okay.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Who does none of that?
What am I going to do while I'm sitting there doing anything and not, like, reading NFL stuff or on Discord on my phone? So now we've covered it. We can kind of go to where is it now? What's the birds aren't real movement now? It is currently being headed by, what's this kid's name? By Peter.
The owner.
Peter McIndoe.
He is the owner of 20,000 car washing places, so make sure to not be tracked by the government.
Yeah, go wash your car constantly. Like, right, if they pause this and go wash your car right now. Just go check.
Unless you're in Delaware where it's freezing, and don't do that.
Yeah, don't do it you can do it in Georgia. It was like 40 something here today. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. But anyways, the leader of the movement right now is Peter McIndoe. He's 23-year-old. He was a college student from Memphis, and he is the one who is the owner of the Birds Aren't Real website. You may have seen him, Peaswad, on an interview that I sent you on your Discord that I posted a while back, where he was on there and threw up on air. That was him.
God, that was him?
That was him.
I didn't. Oh, my God.
Which he said somebody had put something in his drink and it was a hit job, and that's why it happened. Seriously.
It just looked like he choked on his drink.
Yeah, I'm not joking. He came out and said it was a hit job. But as far as this goes, and the conspiracy theory goes, how much validity do you think this has, Peaswad? Do you think that this is... Oh, my
God.
Just I know it's just a rhetorical question, but how much validity is there to any of this?
100%.
Yeah, it's got to be 100%. Well, Peter McIndoe has come out, and obviously as a leader of this since 2017, it is satire, obviously. He's came out and said that. There is a reason that he put this out there. more maybe like a social experiment, or more to counter kind of other things you see in media. It's because over the last 5-10 years, you've gotten a lot of conspiracy theories coming up in the media or being put out there because of internet access. Anybody can put anything anywhere, and he was kind of curious.
Look at us
with all these other crazy conspiracies. If I put this out there, how far will it go? And 5 years later, this is 2022. If I say birds aren't real to anybody, I'd say 3 out of 4 people are going to get the joke, right? Yeah. Like they get the joke. So it's kind of a testament, and like I said, he was putting it out there to kind of be like, okay, well, this kind of shows you can put any ridiculous idea out there that you want, and if you give it enough traction, you say it enough times, you keep pushing it and just doing stuff with it, it'll make its way around, and it'll definitely get some traction. Hold on here. I got some numbers here. Hold on. About his some of his like faces, like not Facebook, I'm old, sorry. Like Instagram, Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. He currently has 50,000 followers on Instagram. 50,000 views on YouTube. 8,500 followers on Twitter. He has a very successful online business where he sells birds aren't real hats, shirts, stickers, merchandise, things like that he makes a very comfortable living off of, which he has spoken about in the past, which he finds hilarious because he has this complete fake idea that he threw out there to see how far it would go, and it actually makes him lots of money. So you don't have to do anything really besides propagate the idea. Now remember, he does. He is going on interviews, and he is pushing and letting people know the truth about what's going on. Which I love this guy because he comes out and obviously has said, well, it's satire, like as a reaction to today's society. You can put anything on the internet and people will believe it, in enough numbers. But then he goes on these interviews, like the one I posted where he like threw up in the middle of it, and then he just like, it was a hit job. He's like, they were trying to get me, how what's the validity to your cause? 100%. He had an interview with Audubon magazine or whatever that is, where it was 30 minutes long, and he stayed apparently the entire time, just 100% on it, just like this is real, wouldn't let it go. It was. I've got to go find it. Let's do it because it sounds incredible. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
But beyond that, I don't got anything else. What else do you have? You got anything else on our buddy McAdoo or McIndoe, however you say his name, or anything else?
I don't have it on that. But if making up a conspiracy theory is what can get you money, sign me up because I made up a conspiracy theory. Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear it.
Okay, so the idea is that the words "history repeats itself" is very well known. The idea is that every 10,000 years or so, give or take, the humans have to restart.
Okay.
And the idea is that we gain technology, and it gets so far and so fast that we get to a point where we end up destroying ourselves.
Okay.
For the most part. A lot of there are humans that will survive, but technology, of course, would not come with you. If there was a giant problem of some sort, then humans move underground, not necessarily to Hollow Earth, but you could say Hollow Earth if you want. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
but humans.
Because if I survive whatever happens, I mean, say goodbye to like microchips. I don't know how to do any of that, so it's
exactly.
That's all
Gone. So if there was we'll say an EMP that wipes out everything, and it never turns back on ever again. That would be bad, real bad, because only certain people are going to know how to live off of the land and so there's going to be a lot of starving and death and people killing over this and that, and and then over time, everything breaks down, no matter what. Even bones break down. The only time that bones don't break down is when they are in very specific conditions to not break down.
That's very true.
So, with all that being said, even if you said every 20,000 years that humans always get to a point, we destroy ourselves, few people live, the longer that they have to live underground or wherever the hell they're living,
Narnia.
it then puts exactly. So they go to Narnia, and then they live there for a while, and they're like, let's go back to Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how Narnia works.
Well, it's very, if you go in there, like a year in there is like only a couple hours here. So that would explain, they go in there.
Why? Yeah, why they would forget like
Mm-hmm.
so much stuff, and it's like, you can't just keep pieces of paper around. They decay and all that. So in the end, we start back over. But then we see certain remnants of the past, like the tombs and the,
Pyramids,
like the Sphinx and all that stuff.
like that,
exactly.
yeah. Stonehenge.
And then we assume things about them and then go, hey, what the hell is that? We don't even know how to explain it completely.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea.
So that's just a conspiracy I was talking about the other day with somebody. And I thought that was very interesting.
Well, we should start a website, and let's put about 15 beers in me, and then I'll just start writing how this guy did, the complete history of how this started.
Okay.
And we'll take it from there. We'll just launch it.
The first Saturday when I get down there for Sleepy Palooza, the day I think I arrive on Saturday, right? Something like
correct.
that. Saturday night, I think we're going to be drinking lots of beer.
Probably that, playing darts and cards and whatever else we can figure out to do that day. So lots and lots of stuff.
Boom. Because I don't drink very often, and I'm ready to have a couple of brews.
Yeah. Now I'm not drinking like 15, 20 beers. Like I'll have a few. I don't. I'm 36. I will literally die.
Well,
I will literally
we'll
die
see.
if I drink that much alcohol. So
we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
What me and my friends used to say is, drink up. We'll tell you about it tomorrow.
That's actually a good way to put it. And plus, it's not like we got anything to do the next day. We're gonna wake up and go eat Waffle House and then play video games the rest of the day. That's all we're gonna do. So
yeah, very calm and quiet video games, in like in darkness, hopefully. Like
yeah, very, 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 very relaxing. I don't know. It's gonna be a great week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be video games, and I don't know. I think we got some other stuff planned. We got a little couple road trips going on. We're gonna go do.
Where are we going? Let's tell the people.
Well, I think when he's down here, there's a conspiracy surrounding the. I don't know if you've heard of the Georgia Guidestones, but they aren't that far from where I live. So I'm thinking that we're gonna have a special episode where we go, and we are going to go there, take some video footage. Obviously we can't do the whole episode from there, but we get some recordings that we can put out places. And add them to that episode when we do our episode on the Georgia Guidestones. We will have another special guest there. It'll be my son, being our cameraman, is what he's going to come along for. I'm sure he has school that day, but he can go another day. It's fine. He's been going a long time. He's missing a day. He'll be fine. He can just go hang out with us.
Yeah. You could miss one day of school.
You miss one day of school. So that's on the horizon. And then I think, there was, possibly I think you wanted to go see some people that kind of are in the area at least. So you wanted to do that. But it'll be a good week. And then, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, it's like, what are we, like a month and a half away now? So we're getting there.
Yeah. Getting close. And then we'll have to record an episode while I'm down there too.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Where we're just like next to each other, I guess. Like,
yeah.
hey,
what's going on?
So yeah.
So after everything we looked at here, I mean, obviously, a lot of information that we went through on these birds. Do you believe that the owner and the person pushing this theory, coming out and saying this is satire and it's more of like a political statement, this and that, do you think that's a conspiracy and he's using that to hide the fact that this conspiracy is real?
Maybe he started with it is real and he found some stuff out and the government said, well, it's too late now. You're going to say it's satire. Otherwise, you're going to go away.
Yeah. That could be very... That's believable. I'd believe that. So after everything I've read today...
No way. No way. 0%. I don't believe this at all.
Yeah. I want to say I don't, but for the sake of me keeping this joke going until the day I die, I'm 99.9995% sure that this is fake. So we'll leave that 0.000005 in there, just so I can keep saying the joke of birds aren't real.
So you're saying there's a chance.
They're saying there's a chance. That's exactly what I'm saying. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Exactly. Yeah, let them be reality. Let the birds really be robots. Oh, my God. Okay, so I'm going to say some stuff like we normally do. So should we give a tease real quick about what our next episode is going to be?
Yeah, what you can go ahead. You're going to have to do it. We talked about it earlier. My memory's terrible. I apologize. This happens every single time.
And just wait till we get to the outro. Oh, I can't wait.
Hey, I think I've got it this time. I think I remembered it.
We'll see.
We'll see.
The next episode we're going to do is going to be called Urban Legends by State. And it's going to be part 1.
That's the one that I wanted to do. All right, cool. Yeah. On this right here, we're going to be doing. It's going to be. We're not going to sit down and do all of them at once, but we're going to look at the most popular folklore or urban legend from each state. Maybe do. Yep. I don't know. We're not going to do really a set number per episode, but maybe 10 or more each one. And we're not going to do all 5 or however many these are in a row. It's going to be a series. So we'll do one, we'll do a few other things, and we'll drop another. It'll be we'll do a series of them, but obviously not right in a row because it's, we like to mix it up, do some different things. Because if you hate hearing about facts of 50 states, we don't want to lose you for 5-6 episodes or whatever it's going to take.
Come back in a month and a half, and then you're not going to care about us,
Yeah. So we'll sprinkle it in there a little bit here and there. But,
But then if you do like it, stick around, because we're going to do more. That's how it's going to be.
Yeah. If you really... go ahead.
Next episode will be Urban Legends by State, Part 1, out of question mark parts, because we don't know how long it's going to take.
And Peaswad and I, we're not going to go in order either. We're just going to draw them out of a hat. So we might do, like, Delaware, and then... I don't know, like California, and then maybe, I don't know, Pennsylvania. We're not going to do them in order. So we're just going to pick them out of a hat and do them.
How do we do this? I could get literally I could get like a hat. We could just, yep.
Well, your stream has a wheel spin. So are there 50 slots on it?
Oh, I could make 50 slots, but then we would get the same one multiple times. So it's kind of like,
true. We don't want to do that, so...
Actually, I might be able to finagle that. Actually, no joke.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay, now I'm thinking. Yeah. Now I'm thinking like we might be able to wheel spin it up, and then I click the button and it deletes that one. Save, wheel spin it, and then it's like bigger sections after. Okay.
Okay, yeah, take a look at it.
I will try it out. Okay, and then so don't forget everybody that we are at WT Conspiracy on linktree.com/WT Conspiracy, where it has links to our Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. We are at WT Conspiracy on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, where we have videos that are fun and stuff. If you wanted to get a hold of us through email, it is WTconspiracy@gmail.com. Don't forget that if you are watching this or listening to this or whatever platform, venue, whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you hit us with a 5-star, because that 5-star helps us out. Hit us with a like and a comment if you're on YouTube. We've already had many comments, and we have had some likes and some comments. Let's say that. We actually haven't had any dislikes yet, so that's good. I'm pretty happy about that.
That's pretty good.
But trolls and dislikes are going to happen, so I'm not too worried about it. Whatever. But please come back next week, where we're going to do, like I said, Urban Legends by State, Part 1. And that is going to be all for us today. So...
maybe we'll get it right next time. Did I do it too early? Well, did I get it right, though? Just said it at the wrong time? I didn't. And also with you.
Oh, my God. You're killing it. I've laughed so much this episode. This is crazy. Okay, so normally I would say something... if we didn't do a very good job this time, then...
maybe we'll get it right next time. Maybe we'll do it right next... I'm going to have to write this on the wall next to me. It's going to have to work. Because we're like...
your wife's going to be like, what? Why is there writing on our wall? Because I can't ever remember.
We're like 3 to 4 episodes into doing this, and I can't. Every time. At the beginning of the episode, I always look it up, and I'm just like, this is what it is. And I'm like, I'm going to remember this, and then I don't. And it's really, it, because it's really simple. I'm missing like a few words.
Maybe we will next time.
Yeah, I added some words that time. So,
okay.
well, maybe next time.
Who knows? Jesus. Okay, bye.
Bye.